Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Are you starting to get a feeling that the powers that be, this whole great reset, is kind of slipping through their fingers? Things aren't quite going according to plan. Remember, if their goal is to not only reduce the world's overall population, but also put everybody in devastating economic means, in other words, take away your money so that you're reliant on the government 100% with universal basic income, in which they control your money by using the central bank digital currency, then they would need a whole lot of things to fall into place. That doesn't mean we should take our eye off of them. But something that Gunther said during an interview apparently is taking place. Before we get started, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. Right now, gold and silver, this is the best time to start stacking up. We know there's a little volatility in the price of gold and silver, but not that much. But even so, it's way cheaper than what its actual value is. So now is the time to start stocking up. And when you do go to buy your gold and silver, please give a consideration to our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. A second year in a row now, Investopedia's best overall metals dealer. Congratulations to Money Metals. Anyways, if you're going to buy your gold and silver, the link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. A quick look at what's going on. You can see Bitcoin and cryptos still slowly but surely rising. Ever since January 21st, Bitcoin has consistently been moving up, which is nice. That's the direction he definitely wanted to go into. Is this following the Wyckoff chart? If that's so, then it's about a week earlier than when it's supposed to take off. So I expect, again, a little bit of a drop before it really takes off, but maybe not. Maybe it does start taking off a week early. And from here, we start seeing Bitcoin take off along with the other cryptos. If that's the case, and it continues to follow the chart and follow the trend, well, then you're going to see Bitcoin doubling somewhere between 120 and 140,000 if the trend continues. And if that's the case, what's that do to all the other cryptos? Of course, they go up in value as well. That's why when the market does drop the way it does and you lose a lot of money, don't sell. You don't lose any money until you sell the crypto at a lower price than what you paid for it. This is why you just sit back and wait for it to rebound. And when it rebounds, it usually rebounds at a much higher value, and we start getting new highs. So congrats to cryptos, but let's see if it stays consistent. Remember, there are other factors playing into what's going on in the market these days. You have Bitcoin at $38,792, Ethereum at $2,795, Cardano's at $1.08. Solana's really taken off today. It's at $111. Our new world order coin, XRP, is at 62 cents. Polkadot's at $19.78. Dogecoin still hanging around the 14-cent level. And you got Shiba's making its move. 4022. That's right. It does not move a lot up and down. It stays pretty consistent. So congrats. Shiba will go up in my opinion. Satama's at 7027. It's dropped down 12.6%. Why? Because they still continue to have issues and they're trying to get it worked out. But their Lily Finance project that they were working on, they were supposed to launch the coin by now, and it has not been launched because it can't fix the platform. This platform passed all kinds of audits, but for some strange reason, doesn't seem to be functioning very well at the moment, and it's really damaging Satama's reputation. I say hold on to it, because when it looked like it did work out the kinks with the exchange, then the crypto started to take off, and that was just at the thought of it being fixed. So what's going to happen when it does finally get fixed? Silver is at $22.60. Gold and silver being tampered with. We know this. That's because the powers that be are trying to buy up as much of it as possible. The precious metals are not responding to the market the way they should with the type of news that's floating around. And I'll even show you articles about it. We got gold sitting at 1,800 and it's having the same issues as well. Just like silver, you can see on January the 31st, it started to take off, came down, went up, came down. It's worse than a roller coaster. Go back here to January 25th when gold started to really take off. It got up to 1,852. Looked like it was starting to take a run at that record of over 2,000. And then it just went from 1,852 to somewhere around $1,780. And now we are at the $1,800 level. Now, again, this silver and gold is not responding to the market like it should. There's no doubt it's being manipulated. How they don't even hide the fact that they manipulate it anymore. So use this time just like the powers that be are. Take advantage of the manipulated prices and stock up on as much of it as possible. I spoke about this before. People often go, Pimpy, man, I can't afford gold. You'd be surprised. You see, you're thinking about buying an ounce at a time. You don't have to do that. They have fractional pieces. Let me show you. If you go over here to Money Metals, just hit this gold tab right here. You can go to either rounds or bars. I look at bars. So yeah, you have your 1 ounce and your 10 ounce, but look, you got 1 gram bars for $76.84, half gram bars for $44. They're tiny pieces, but at least you would be owning some gold. 1 gram bar is $80. 2.5 grams for $175. So you might not be able to pay the over $1,800 for an ounce, but you definitely can afford these smaller amounts, even 5 grams for $344. So you see, you don't have to buy a full ounce of gold. So don't think you can't afford gold. It's there. You can just buy it in smaller pieces. So when I did a video about is cryptocurrency still continuing to follow the Wyckoff, especially Bitcoin? And yes, it is. And it went through a bunch of scenarios in there and explained to you how it is that Bitcoin is manipulated by the powers that be, and how it is they get away with it, and how it is they make money off it. But then you have, remember what they said, a composite, man. Somebody comes out and hypes it up. Well, they got a handful of them, in my opinion. Here's one of them right here. Michael Sayer, Macro Strategy buys additional 25 million worth of Bitcoin during market dip. See, they buy on the dip, and so should you. The 660 Bitcoin acquired across a 32-day period equates to an average of 21 a day. That's markedly lower rate than in December when the firm bought 1,914 in a 20-day ending in December 29th, which is 96 on average per day. So think cost average. Of course, they're buying on a dip. So Michael Saylor, I think I call him Sayer, Michael Saylor here, again, he can be that so-called composite man, the guy that goes out there and hypes it up all the time. There's more than one to get everybody to start buying, to hype it up, to get the price rising. And then again, they watch it go up record heights, and then they start selling when it's high, and then they start saying negative stuff, which causes it to crash. So we're going to start paying attention to these types of trends and start paying attention to characters that are involved in this pump and dump strategy. So like I was saying, look, how it is that gold and silver is as low as it is unbelievable, but I shouldn't say that because it's been manipulated for a long time. And I keep saying that the US dollar is dying, but so is other currencies around the world. I also said that the US dollar was starting to lose favor as the reserve dollar. Other countries are looking to trade in their own local currency, and they're going to stop using the US dollar. That affects the overall value of the US dollar. You can see right here, it says US dollar loses shine as a reserve currency for emerging economies. Of course it does. Because they keep using their dollars as a weapon, and they're doing it right now. They're actually using it as a weapon against Russia. So they've been doing this now for a long time, and other countries are getting tired of it. And because of this, they're starting to talk amongst each other or finding new strategies to get around the SWIFT 2.0 system, like going into cryptocurrencies and making it its national currency. So US dollar is losing its value and its shine. The Zimbabwe dollar is dying. Remember I was saying currencies are dying. It's a planned event. Europeans stabilized a bit after a plunge, so their dollar is dying. Lebanon sees a 93% currency slide. Their dollar is dying. After a 99.99% plunge, Venezuela Bolivar has finally stabilized. Do you see what's happening around the world? I've been telling you that this is a planned event. Their goal is to crash all the currencies and then push us into the central bank digital currencies. Except for there's an outlier. El Salvador is asked to get out of Bitcoin by the IMF. No, why would they? They're being punished by the US through sanctions. And so they're not in the SWIFT 2.0 system. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. People are getting tired of it, and they are going to turn to cryptocurrencies. Now, the funny thing is, they're using this as an example of fine that if you guys want to be in cryptocurrencies, then we're going to push out our central bank digital currency. It's not the same thing. Cryptocurrency and the digital currency are two different things. One has an open ledger, the other one has a closed ledger. So they're asking El Salvador to get out of Bitcoin. No, if other countries start adopting, and I would not just choose Bitcoin, choose cryptocurrencies, period. But if you're just going to use one cryptocurrency, they can get in there and manipulate it. I think it's interesting that all the dollars are crashing everywhere, and they want to push us into the central bank digital currency and try to get everybody out of cryptocurrencies. What is really going on? Is cryptocurrencies the answer? It could be, as long as you knew for sure you cannot get them in there to screw with it in any way, shape, or form. But as I said, there's something definitely going on. All of a sudden, we're starting to see almost a slight about face when it comes to the central bank digital currency. I don't think they're ready. The Fed's CBDC report was lame on purpose. Said the U.S. Federal Reserve released its long-anticipated report on the potential of the digital dollar last week. Those hoping the world's most powerful central bank would revolutionize the way we exchange money were disappointed. We don't want them to do anything. The last people you want involved in your money is the Federal Reserve. As if for starters, the Fed made clear that for now, it is neither for or against launching a digital currency. So something definitely is going on. And if you remember, I did that interview with Gunther Sonnenfeld, and he just said, look, we helped work on the central bank digital currency. We can tell you right now that the people behind us don't know their butt from a hole in the ground, and that it's not going to be successful. They just don't have the wits to do what is necessary to pull off this great reset. So he said not to worry about them and that this project would fail. Was Gunther correct? Because look at here. Remember, Caribbeans have already launched their central bank digital currency. Eastern Caribbean central bank digital currency, the Dcash, goes offline for over 2 weeks. Yikes! The Eastern Caribbean Bank has been forced to crash its digital currency project, dubbed Dcash, citing technical issues. Dcash, the central bank's digital currency, used by 7 Caribbean nations, went offline 2 weeks ago, impacting the ability of users to complete transactions on the platform. So this is what you have to look forward to once they force us into it 100%. This kind of crap happening, and then it's affecting people's lives. It crashes, it goes down. This again is why you don't want 100% digital currency. I don't mind a digital currency that exists alongside paper currency. But right here you can see already it is having problems. The outage, which reportedly began on January the 14th, still remains offline, and the bank is uncertain when it will resume. Well, I think this is what's causing now all these nations, because now you got the Lords of Parliament in Europe are now saying, yeah, we don't see a need for a central bank digital currency. So everybody's pumping their brakes on this central bank digital currency. It's not going as smoothly as they thought. We saw a lot of currencies crashing, and now all of a sudden, magically, they're claiming that the currencies are stable. But if the currencies are crashing and we're looking at tapering and interest rate hikes, but still you see gold at $1,800, I don't think so. It's going to go up. But there's definitely something going wrong, and it's not going quite according to plans. Not to mention you got people around the world protesting against their governments because of the shutdowns. Gold deal making is set to take off along with prices, gold royalty, Garofalo says. A senior gold mining executive sees the potential for a record year of mergers and acquisitions as companies turn to deals to prop up production at a time of rising bullion prices. It's not really rising, that's for sure. But let's get over here to the part that matters the most. It said, in the past decade and a half, the industry has been focused on strengthening balance sheets and paying dividends, resulting in a depletion of reserves. To avoid that turning into production slump, companies will scoop up more single asset players. Garofalo said in an interview on Monday at the same time, the prospect of accelerating inflation and higher interest rates will drag money out of equities markets and into safe havens, with gold potentially reaching $3,000 an ounce this year. This is just the beginning, he's saying. So, as I was stating, that look, precious metals aren't responding to the market the way they should. They're trying to convince us that, the higher yields you're seeing in bonds, people are going to turn to bonds, not gold and silver. No, they're not. The bond market is in a bubble as well. Nobody trusts the government. Nobody has any faith in their country's currencies. So how can you trust government bonds? Gold and silver is and always will be the safe haven. But let's keep an eye on cryptocurrencies, because I see an opportunity in which we might be able to catch that wave of cryptocurrencies running up and taking that money and buying into the cheaper precious metals. So I don't think it's any coincidence that we're seeing problems with the central bank digital currency, and all of a sudden currencies that were collapsing everywhere starting to become magically stabilized, and at the same time seeing cryptocurrencies go up. When they thought they were ready to launch the central bank digital currency, we saw currencies around the world crashing. We saw cryptocurrencies crashing. But now something definitely has happened, and we're starting to see a reverse of that. So again, keep an eye on the market and what's going on with the central bank digital currency. Whatever this plan is, it's not working. So gold and silver is the way to go. Now, I am a little diversified. I do have some money, a few $1,000s in cryptocurrencies. Again, I got the ones that I am keeping, good, bad, or ugly. But if indeed Bitcoin continues to follow the Wyckoff graph, we're looking at it possibly doubling from its all-time high according to how the chart goes. If that's the case, then you can expect all the other cryptos to follow along with it. That means those of you holding on to Shiba coins, Doge coins, and the Satama coins, you can expect a huge jump in value, and you were able to get in on those projects at an early time. I know where I want the money to be. I have set a goal. Once it reaches it, I'm cashing out and putting the rest of it right back into gold and silver. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.